Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the Sigma Steady Glow collection. So we'll start out with the eyeshadow palette. This is the Brilliant and Spellbinding shadow palette. So packaging, just cardboard. It is pretty sturdy. It looks nice. It has the Sigma logo on the top. Has all your shadow colors in the back. It has a mirror. You can see, I don't want to like blind you guys. And then you got 12 shadows as well. So this is a pretty nice palette. It is a mixture of shimmers and mattes, definitely heavier on the shimmer side. For me, I prefer a palette with a little more variety, so its variety is not quite as nice unless you really like shimmers. The color selection is pretty nice. They have a lot of these kind of neutral colors, and we got a little more fun going on here. I'm wearing a couple on my eyes today. I'm wearing Sensational, which is this color right here, Bloom, which is this color right here, and then also Spellbinding, which is this color right here on my eyes with another one of the pigments that I'll show you later. These are really nice. They are pretty creamy in texture, so they do feel really nice when you apply them. They're pretty easy to blend. Most of them have quite a high color payoff, except for Spellbinding, which as you can see is a little more on the sheer side. I'm going to pop up some swatches right there so you can see. I mostly use Spellbinding as a highlight shade like I did today, so that's not something that bothers me. Overall, the colors are pretty neutral, kind of basic-y colors with a couple colors that stand out a little bit more. This color right here, which is Faye, is this really pretty kind of brownish burgundy color that's really pretty and kind of different. I like this color right here, which is Radiant, which is kind of a rust color with a little bit of a gold kind of micro glitter reflect to it. So those are really fun. And I really like this color Bloom because it's one of those like peachy colors. I think that's really nice. And then this kind of like pukey yellow color right here, which is Sensational. I actually really like that. That's what I'm wearing like blended out here. It works really well, especially if you have blue eyes. Overall, this is a pretty great palette, especially if you go for the more neutral colored eyeshadows. The thing that would make me reach for it more is if it was better as a standalone palette. This is something I feel like I kind of need other colors to make an eye look that I would wear. It's definitely something that if you are either newer to makeup or you really stick in the neutrals, it's probably going to be fine for you. But I prefer something with a little more mattes, and I prefer a darker matte color because right now we've got 1, 2, 3 mattes, and one of them's a pop of color matte. So I would just prefer something a little bit more, and maybe like one of these colors to be matte so I can throw something in the crease that's dark. So if you like shimmers, definitely pretty good palette. If you like mattes, might be a pass for you. However, they do have some cool, more unique colors in there, because this color right here, really like that. It's kind of like MAC Uninterrupted. It's a very nice color. So the next things up is their Shimmer Creams. So I got the full collection, so I have all 3. There are 3 different colors. I'm going to throw up swatches right up here so you can see them. So there's Superb, which is this kind of pinky gold color. Then there's Sultry, which is like a bronzy color. And then Brilliant, which is kind of that pinky champagne color. So this color is Superb, and that's what I actually have on my cheeks today. They're shimmering creams, so you can kind of use them wherever. I think they'd be really nice on a highlight on deeper skin tones. This could be gorgeous. For me, it shows up as a blush. As you can see, it's quite pink on my cheeks because I'm more on the fair side. But this color is probably my favorite of all of them, and I put on my lips too because this is just gorgeous, like rosy gold color. Sultry is something that's going to go purely into my kit. The only time I've really scraped it was for that swatch because it's nothing I will wear because it's too dark for me, but it's great if you had a deeper skin tone. This would be that gorgeous bronzy glow that you could pretty much use wherever on your face. And then Brilliant Shimmer Cream is really pretty. It's something that I can kind of wear as a highlight. It's a little bit deeper than my skin tone, and it's just really pretty champagne beigey color. This would be flattering on most skin tones. Shimmer creams in general, I've actually really liked. I have a couple other kind of those all over shimmer creams and I haven't really been into them, but these are really nice because they're not overly sticky, and especially if you put them on the back of your hand and use your fingers to apply, they're just really gentle and they don't feel like sticky on my face, but you can see I have like almost a wet glow still going on, but it doesn't feel like sticky when I touch my face, so that's super nice. Overall, I really like the shimmer creams. Those retail for $16. Those are probably my favorite thing out of this whole collection, with my absolute favorite being that superb color. So the next thing up are the inner rim brighteners. So they came out with 3 of them, and these retail for $9 each. So there's Unclouded, which is a white. There's Final Touch, which is this kind of pinkish nude color. This is what I'm wearing on my waterline today. And there's also Polished, which is more of like a beige neutral inner rim brightener. So I really like that they gave a couple different options, but I do like that there's different color options. I think that's great. I've used all 3 of these. These definitely aren't ones that you can't use depending on your skin tone. Unclouded is definitely something that is that more stark white color, so I'm not the biggest fan on this for the inner rim. I use this in a couple Halloween tutorials when I do want that like bright white. This is the one I've been basically using a lot more often. It's their Final Touch, and you can see it's this pinky color. This is the most accurate color to what my waterline is with no redness. So I really like this one because it basically looks like I don't have makeup on. So if I was gonna do a no makeup look, but I wanted to still highlight that area because I have some redness going on, this is one I'd grab for. And lastly, the Polished is more kind of that, it's a little more on the orangey side. This is gonna work great if you're more on the deeper skin tone. But if you are a little on the fair side, you can't not wear this. Like, I put this on my waterline, wasn't like too off, but it's definitely something that is gonna be more flattering on a deeper skin tone than someone that's on the fair side. Overall, these are pretty nice. They're $9, so they're cheaper than the other waterline ones that I own. They are quite waxy. They're sharpening pencils. I get about probably 4 to 5 hours of wear time if I don't like take a Q-tip and like dry off my waterline before applying them. So they're not the longest wearing, but for the price, they're the longest wearing I own for that price point. The longest ones that I've found on the waterline is the NARS Larger Than Life, but those retail for like, I think $21, so pretty good, but you might have to reapply. I definitely like these, and I like the colors of these in particular because they're not that super like beigey color that they normally only have, so these are pretty nice. Next up are the Lip Vex lip glosses. So they came out with, I'm trying to hold all these, 5 colors. So there are a lot of these right now. Today I am wearing this Vivid one on my lips, and I just have a pink lip liner under it, so it would like complement my eyes a little bit better. These retail for $10 each. There are 5 different colors. I'm dropping them. So there is Vivid, which is this red color. Steady Glow, which is that kind of rose gold, kind of orangey coral color with some glitter in it. Dazzling, which is this bronzy color with glitter, like a ton of glitter. Chill Out Lip Vex, which is the one I personally use the most because I like pink. And that's just well, it's a gloss, but the color in it's just a solid pink color. And then the last one is Skinny Dip, which is this pretty coral color. Glosses are quite pretty. As you can see, they have a brush applicator. I go back and forth about what applicator I like better because I don't like doe foots, but this brush at the same time is a little bit too floppy to use. So I use everything with a lip brush pretty much because that's just what I do. But they do have the brush. They take quite a bit of product on it, so you definitely don't have to dip again. This is plenty for your lips. This is the color I'm wearing today. They are quite nice because they're not overly sticky. That's a big complaint for me personally. I prefer non-sticky gloss. I'm aware that the stickier your gloss is, the longer wearing it's going to be. However, I prefer non-sticky gloss and I'd rather reapply. Plus, lip gloss is easy to apply anyhow. So these I get about probably 3 to 4 hours of wear, but they're not sticky. So that's kind of up to you on what you feel about these. As you can see on my lip swatches, you can kind of build them up or you can make them very sheer. So as you can see, that's a very thin line and that's a little bit more. So you kind of have a little bit of versatility with those. They're very comfortable on the lips. And they like, I don't even know what to describe the scent is. It's not very strong. It's just kind of like a weird fruity flavor. So if it's not really a big deal with the scents. The glitter ones are not as comfortable. The glitter ones being these two. Just because you have glitter on your lips, that's never gonna be super comfortable, but they are very pretty and they have, all of them have this really high gloss because, I mean, this is the steady glow, so you're gonna be glowing, right? So glitter ones definitely not quite as comfortable to wear. The ones that are just kind of that solid color are actually quite comfortable to wear. So these are kind of what's been taking over my lip gloss when I wear lip glosses, just because they aren't super like, you're like, gross. So overall, I really like those for a lip gloss. However, I'm also just not a lip gloss girl in general. Lip glosses are definitely not what I reach for. I prefer lipsticks, but these are nice for glosses. Okay, so the last thing is their loose shimmer, which are kind of these loose shimmer pigments, and they retail for $12 each. So they came out with 5 colors. There is Gilded, which is this really pretty gold color. This is what I'm going to show you is the other side, because you can kind of see how big the particles are. So this one, as you can see, doesn't let a whole lot out. So this is a little more of a chunkier one. It looks really nice if you foil it, but it is going to look on the glitterier side if you're going to use it as a highlight. So just putting that out there. The next one is Midsummer, and that's this pretty bronze color. I really like wearing this on the eyelids. This is really pretty. It's just that bronzy, dark brown color, and again, looks great if you wet it. Then the next one up is Ravishing, and this one is one of the finer ones, as you can see, really fine. And it's just kind of one of those almost like, it's just gonna give a little bit of shimmer. It's not super dark, it just kind of gives you this pretty glittery look. However, that being said, this is something that probably isn't gonna go for, if you're much more than tan, I would probably pass on this because it will show up ashy on your skin tone. It does have that nice kind of like champagne gold glitter, so that one's really pretty. That one's the one I'm using as a highlight today. And then this one is Ambrosia, and this is this kind of pink glitter. This one's really fun. I like wearing this as like a highlight on top of my blush, so not like quite like a white highlight, but that is really pretty. It's pretty topped over pink lipsticks too. It's one of those, the little more on the chunky side. And then lastly, this is my favorite one. This is what I have on my lids today, and this is Lush, and this is by far like the best pigment they came out with, or loose shimmer I guess is what they call it. But this is gorgeous. It's super fine, as you can see, a lot comes out. And I don't even like really know how to describe this color other than it's like basically my favorite. But like, it's so weird. It's like, it has that pink reflect that shows up kind of at the highlighted part, but it's orange. And it has a little bit like almost purple when you move your fingers. It's gorgeous. This is like my favorite thing out of the entire collection. I know like the Shimmer Creams are my favorite like thing out of the collection. But if I was gonna own one of these, I would own this Lush color because it is so unique. I don't have another pigment even kind of like this, and that's saying a lot because I own a lot of pigments. So the Lush Loose Shimmer is just a gorgeous color. Gorgeous. That's my favorite thing out of this, so I really like those. With the loose shimmers, they're really nice. I definitely prefer the ones that seem to be a little bit of a finer mill, the ones that are a little more on the powdery side. That's why I think I like Lush and Ravishing are the ones I use more often, because this works great as a highlight for me, and this is great as kind of a lid color or even as a cheek if I want to be really obnoxious. Patted over my lips a couple weeks ago, like whatever, I just love that. The other ones are a little bit on the chunkier side, so they're just they look really nice foiled, but I don't really like them using it as like a highlighter because I just feel like they're a little too glittery, and I prefer a shimmer over glitter. If you're someone that's like, oh yeah, I'm all about the glitter life, then those would probably be up your alley. They're just not a perfect fit for me. So overall, I like this collection. There was a lot of things in it that I know like I would use. There's a lot of things that I just feel like the general person could use if you like that kind of dewy, glowy look. It's very pretty. My favorite items are definitely the Shimmer Creams, with Superb being my favorite color, and then the loose shimmers, which my favorite color is definitely Lush. So those are definitely my favorite. So if you do like shimmer, this is something that there's a lot of things that you probably would like. If you like mattes, this is a collection that you might want to pass on just because it doesn't have a whole lot of mattes. The inner rim brighteners are definitely kind of a good thing for anyone, but it's definitely the overall kind of theme of the collection is steady glow, so of course it's gonna be shimmery. And yeah, that's pretty much all it is. This launched in the end of August. All the individual products are permanent collection, and I will list all the things in the down box below with the links where you can get them if you are interested. Again, I will have the swatches and even more information over at my blog, which is rkshores MUA. I'll give you a direct link to the blog post in the down box below, as well as somewhere on the screen. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you did. I'll post all my social media in the down box below, as well as at the end of the video if you are interested in seeing that. And I hope to see you guys again soon.